Serving up a warm dish of the Triad's culinary fare, here's your weekly helping of food, news, and views. This is the man who ate the town.
Hey folks, and welcome to episode 170 of the Man Who Ate the Town podcast. This is for the week of October 5th through the 11th, 2020. My name is Tim Beeman.
My name's Ray Morgan.
And I'm Leah Metz.
And we are opening the recipe box. We are recording this episode of the Man Who Ate the Town in the Less Desirable Studio South, aka my house. We are practicing social distancing and using Zoom, sponsored by Bull's Tavern. We will have two guests today, like we did last week. We will have Michael Mion from Mojito Latin Soul Food to give us an update on the restaurant, and Dina from Baklava and More to talk about her delicious wares. Right after we got, quote unquote, off the air last week, I received word from Street Team Steven that he had seen that Local 27101 was opening back up. Of course, these things happen right after we finish the show, right? Anyway, I know Greg, and I sent him a text. Yes, they were opening, and they did that on Tuesday. I went by on Thursday and got to speak with Greg for a bit, and he talked about a lot of changes and things that they were going to try. I have asked him to come on the podcast next week to discuss these, but I haven't heard back yet. They have this new delicious corn chowder that I had as a side to my local burger, which I hadn't had in probably over a year. I used to have them all the time when the Less Desirable Studios were in the Chatham building right across the street. Greg was also doting on the chili that they now have. I told him that I'd love to try it, and he brought me a bowl. I will say this out loud: that chili needs to be entered into the chili cook-offs. It was simple, yet so damn good. They use black beans instead of the kidney or red or pintos. They just the right amount of chili powder. It wasn't at all overpowering. It was really, really good. And Greg also went over a lot of the changes that he was going to implement, and I think it sounds like a winner. I know it involves both his previous restaurant, Artisan, and Local 27101. I really enjoyed Artisan, and I like what Local 27101 set out to do, even though I didn't get the name concept at first. But it only takes understanding what this vision was to make sense of the Local 27101. People say, they are not growing anything in this area code. This zip code. No, they're not. But it's where you go locally. It's basically meant to just pop in for lunch, especially for lunch, because that's all Local 27101 was. And it was just, you're only going to do that if you are in that zip code, most likely. People downtown jump in there. Well, Artisan was a little bit different, and I'm hoping again that he can come on next week. Meanwhile, go visit them at 310 West 4th Street, right across the street from our official sponsor, Washington Perk. The Dine 52 raffle is on, and some people are like, "What's Dine 52?" Well,
including me.
Yes.
What's
So
52?
it's only one of the most delicious raffles ever. It's your chance to win dinner for two every week for 1 year.
What?
Yeah, Second Harvest Food Bank and Providence, who was our guest last week, have teamed up with some of the best restaurants in town to create a one-of-a-kind raffle. They've got 52 gift certificates good for dinner for two for a year, and a chance for you to double the good. You get to help feed their community and support vibrant local restaurant scene as well. So get yours today. The tickets are one for $100 or six for $500. Now you're like, oh, that's a lot of money. But it's, again, 52 restaurants, dinner for two. You couldn't go to three of them probably and stay under $100.
Well, and I can't cook, so
Yeah.
for me, I'm like, hey, if I could, get some meals, and I'll be like, hey, look, honey,
Yeah.
I made dinner. Let's go.
They made dinner for me, for you.
I made the reservation for us to go. See, there it is.
So the winners will be announced, or the winner will be announced on November 16th. I believe that is a Monday, because my birthday is the 20th and it's a Friday. So it may be Tuesday.
Well, my birthday is the 19th, so that
November?
would be a beautiful of November. So that would be a beautiful gift for us to get and split, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And to win it.
That's right.
You know what you mean, Providence.
So I think we had talked about that before, and I forgot all about our birthdays being one day apart.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I saw that this morning. I was looking at the upcoming birthdays from Facebook in October and November. I was like, look at that. They're just right there together.
Look at that. And there's a raffle in our honor that week. Our birthday.
That's right.
So
We didn't
such
know
good
that it was already
marketing.
going to be YouTube winning the raffle. So
I mean, listen, we're worth it. We're worth it.
That's right.
Way past worth it.
So for to get into the raffle, to order tickets, basically go to dine52.org, dine52.org, and you have, if you go across the top, it says tickets, or you can scroll down if you want to read more. They have that too. Again, one for $100, six for $500, and they only have a maximum of 500 tickets, so your chances are pretty good.
1 in 500.
Yeah.
Not 1 in tens of thousands or millions.
Right.
You're right. Those are much better odds.
Yes. So, dine52.org. Burke Street Pub was one of the few bars in Winston-Salem that could open this weekend, either by ability or feasibility. They could count their parking lot as outdoor space. The governor's proverbial bone throwing last week did nothing to help most bars in the state, but the ones that could have tried to help those who couldn't. Burke Street Pub hosted 2 bands in their parking lot this past weekend, and proceeds from the band went to Bull's Tavern. This weekend, it's either Tea Time or Gatsby's, and then the week after that, whichever one it wasn't this weekend is that one. And I'm afraid Cooper's going to lose his re-election campaign if he's not careful here. I know some otherwise progressive liberals that are, for the first time in their lives, going to vote Republican, even though what Dan Forrest stands for is against everything they believe in and value, all because they need to open their businesses or get assistance until they can. If they would just offer some assistance that was worthy of of actually doing, instead of just saying, here's $500. Well, $500 is going to do nothing for someone whose rent is, $2,000 a month.
Right.
So neither of those
being able to open where you can have like 5 people come into the bar.
right.
You can't open the bar for that. You don't even turn the lights on for that.
No.
Right.
Most of the bars in Winston-Salem, who are strictly bars, have no outdoor space to speak of. And if they do, it's 7% of capacity, or of per 1,000 feet. So that's about 7 people. And Danielle doesn't even have, let's say Danielle Bull, let's go with that, does not have maybe square feet, maybe 40.
Yeah.
So that's like 3 people, 2 people.
Yeah, I was going to say less than that.
Yeah.
Might be one person sitting out there
Yeah.
alone.
And that's just absolutely
By the time you put the bartender and a waiter or waitress in there, all right, we're at capacity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just, how do you expect folks to be able to stay open like that?
So
Are we good with that? Are we good with losing a whole category of businesses that cannot survive?
well, there's some people who are. And there's speculation of that this is finally the opportunity that the religious right, who we have all said many times is neither religious nor right, want to get rid of the bars, private bars. And I don't mean this to be a political thing. It just is. I know that Danforth is a piece of shit. I'll say it. There's speculation that Roy Cooper invests in breweries, and that is one reason he's pushing for breweries to be open, but not for bars. It's conjecture and hearsay as far as I'm concerned. If it's true, then this is a reason why. Then again, Cooper, you're shooting yourself in the foot here. If that's not true, then they need to settle that out so people will stop talking crap.
Right.
Yeah, well, but even if he's for breweries and investing in them, they're still handicapped as well. So it's not like you're making hand over fist money over a bar at this point in time like that.
No,
I don't know.
But they are making something.
Well, yeah, but there's 1,700 mattress stores out here in the world. Like, I mean, is there really competition? Let's think about this. How many gas stations are in town? Is there really that much competition? I mean, everybody has their niche in all this.
Yeah. I
learned in the last week that if you don't follow the guidelines, it really doesn't matter what your title is, you're going to get sick.
Yeah.
So on one hand, I understand not allowing large crowds, and another, there is a way to do that and do it safely, and we've seen that model. It seems like if we go in that direction, we should be able to move forward.
Yeah. Vote. That's all I gotta say.
Every chance you have.
Yeah.
Every time there's an election.
And not voting is voting. It's still voting.
Yes.
So you can say, "Oh, I'm not voting because whatever." You're still voting. One way or another, you're voting.
Mm-hmm.
Dario is opening their dining rooms as of 10 a.m. this morning, so you can go back, and of course it's 50% and just mindfulness and 6 feet apart and all the regular things that we have come to know and love about indoor dining. It applies to Dario as well. We've seen and heard Josh Trussler talk about what was Shakunin Ramen, which is now going to be called Bootleg Ramen, for over 2 years now. He posted this past week that they had filed their paperwork and it was on the verge of happening. I posted about it, and Street Team Steven said that he was skeptical. Josh said that he was skeptical too. But he said that this is the closest that they've gotten since they've started. So here's hoping that we get somewhere and we can start trying this ramen that we have heard so much about for 2 años. We're pulling for you, Josh. We hope that you get through this and we finally get to try the bootleg ramen. Our proverbial and physical fingers are crossed for you.
Yes.
It seems that our pal Brian Ricciardi has been getting flack from folks because he decided to go plant-based. And here's my statement to these people. Get the hell over it and get the hell over yourselves. What could you possibly have to say that is constructive or is going to change Brian's mind to do it? He's vegan. Would you really want to eat food from someone who doesn't eat what he makes? Also, what if what he had on the menu was about half plant-based anyway, to begin with?
True.
And there's nothing that he used to have that you can't find around the corner at Francesco's or downtown at Delicio's or Cibo, Trattoria, BLL Rotisserie Factory, or even Carrabba's. Stop bitching because you just want to bitch. If there's something out there that he used to serve and you just want and can't live without, ask him for the damn recipe. Fix it your own damn self.
Yes.
I mean, he's not fixing it. I'm pretty sure he's like, yes, here's the recipe. I can't use it anymore. Jeez, oh, Pete, people. Just shut the hell up.
If it's not your cup of tea, if it's not something that you want, go somewhere else and shut up. Yes. Leave the man alone. I appreciate that he's being daring.
Yes.
He's taking a big risk. and going out in a new direction and providing an opportunity for the vegans in the area to have a restaurant that really caters to them like they've not had before. It's awesome work that he's doing. We appreciate the variety that he's bringing to town.
Right, and there are people who really have been seeking this out. I mean, yes, there are restaurants in town that have vegetarian or vegan options, but chances are they're making those on the same grill that they would have the butter or something else that's not vegan or vegetarian making it, or in a fryer that's that had chicken wings in it right before, so he's doing something that people have been asking for. The trick here is, will people support it? I hope they do. He's a delightful person, and I think he really is hitting on something. I know that people want it. Let's do it. And if you don't like it, go somewhere else and shut the hell up. Jesus.
How do you really feel about all of this, Tim?
I hate
I feel
people.
like you're holding back.
There's some people I just can't stand. It's people who have nothing better to do than just bitch.
Yeah.
Shut up. Shut
Yeah.
up.
Well, and everything changes. Like, there isn't anything in this world that doesn't change, and that's the beauty of being here and doing, being able to do those things. And so, yeah, there are places that I'm sad, mad, angry have closed. I relish those times that I ate the good food, and then I move on to somewhere else. Like, what good is bitching doing?
And find
to
equally
anybody?
good food.
Well, right, I find something else that's just as good that I didn't know that was right underneath my nose.
Exactly.
Before Facebook, there were always the curmudgeons. They would, whatever it is, they were that way. But they could only talk to a few people at a time.
Yeah.
And now
People who would listen.
they've been given a big stage and a big microphone. It's like, I'm sorry, you don't get to take the stage. You don't get to take the microphone. Sit down and shut up.
Yes. Silence.
Yes. Silence.
Ray, did you get by Food Freaks?
Oh man, yes we did. It was
Oh.
so good. We went over there Saturday afternoon. We didn't get there till about 1:30, 2 o'clock, and there were still a bunch of folks there. It was steady for them during the time frame that they were there. The dining room is open. The tap wall is up. They are serving beer and wine. There's the outdoor patio. He has really expanded since we were there just a month ago. There's room for 50 people to be out there on the patio, and everybody could be at their own table and distant. I mean, none of the tables are really like 2 feet apart. There's plenty of room to spread out. He was saying that he had live music on Friday night, and they were coming back in Saturday night, and he had a huge crowd of people that just showed up on Friday night. He said, this is a little embarrassing because the restaurant that's right next door is also his landlord. He's like, I've got a line out the door and all these people here. And he's like, they're just a couple folks at his place. I kind of felt bad for him.
Well, I mean, it's
tell
new.
you.
It's new, so that's to be expected. It'll
Exactly.
level off probably, but then again, what else is there to do in Moxville, really? So
You need to go. There's not a lot to do in Moxville, but Food Freaks is definitely now at one of those on the top of the list. If you haven't gone by,
well, I
it's
get
worth
to
it.
have lunch with my son today, and I'm thinking he and I might ride out to Moxville.
There you go. It's definitely worth the trip. I mean, if you've ever had Food Freaks burgers before, they're awesome burgers.
Yeah.
They were in your top 5.
Yes.
So we know you had a chance to sample an awful lot of places and still went, yeah, Food Freaks they deserve to be in the top of the list.
Yes.
They are doing some new stuff on the menu. So not everything that you expected just from the truck. There's some new things that are happening with that. It was interesting to hear him talk about, because Brandon used to have a restaurant in Winston-Salem and dealt with the Forsyth County Health Department. And now he's in Davie County, and he's dealing with their health department. And he said, man, the folks over here, the only question that they're asking me is, how can we help you? What can we do to help you get open and be a successful business? He said there were several times where they came in and went, Brandon, dude, we need to talk about this. But I tell you what, you know it's going to happen. You know you'll take care of this. Get it done in the next month or so, and we'll come and talk to you after that. They didn't come back with the same kind of stuff that he heard in Forsyth County. Nope, didn't pass. Going to be another 3 weeks before we can come back over here and reinspect, and then it's another 3 weeks and another 3 weeks. He's like, man, they've been over backwards. If I call them up and say I need a little bit of help, they're there that afternoon. He's like, I love being here. I'm happy with this environment. And he's gotten very warm reception from the entire community. So it's exciting to see him living his dream, literally. Just this is what he's always been working for.
Awesome.
Cool.
Leah, anything going on your side of the list?
So Mel and I decided to do a little quality control check this weekend.
Yeah.
And we went over to Foothills tasting room.
Yeah. It's still
How was the
fantastic.
quality?
Is it?
Was it still controlled?
I mean, quality was good. Beer was good. Delicious.
Did you try the Festival Express?
I don't prefer that type of beer, but Mel loves it, and she did. And then they have some pumpkin something or other that's pretty good too. But they have table setups like picnic tables that they've really been able to spread out. You know how they kind of block off the side part for the food truck? They've really spread out the tables because they have a small space as well, but to be able to really spread out, it was nice. And then West Coast Wanderers food truck was there, so we did a little quality control on that as well.
Yeah.
And their food's just delicious. Like, I don't know what else to tell you, but has some good stuff coming out of that food truck. Tacos, the guacamole on those tacos, and just the cilantro, and my mouth is just watering right now.
Thinking about it.
Thinking about it. But we were like, where should we go? And we were looking at, okay, what food truck is here and what one's there? And then Mel was like, West Coast Wanderers is out at Foothills Tasting. And I was like, oh,
Let's go.
gotta go right over there. So those ladies doing West Coast Wanderers food truck, they have a good thing going. I mean, they know it's good stuff. So if you hadn't checked them out already, look for them. Is that it's just good. It's just.
And you said that the Beer Growler is closed for moving?
Oh yeah, Beer Growler, they closed middle of last week and are packing up and moving. And they have not released an official location yet. There were some rumors a while ago, but they've not been saying anything here lately. So apparently the contract for the new space is still in the works. So I guess they don't want to jinx it at the moment. But they are moving, and they're closed at the moment until they get up and running in their new space. So hopefully we'll hear shortly. I'll keep watching their Facebook page to see when the grand announcement is.
They should come here to announce that.
Right?
Let's contact them.
We should.
I know people who know them personally, so I can we all know someone who knows them personally. Mr. Paul Jones. So
Yeah. You know Paul.
yeah.
And we actually like Paul.
Yeah, we like Paul. So we'll try to see if he can get us a contact.
Contact
His
him.
arm may be bandaged, but he can still cough it.
That's right. He can still text. I've seen him do it.
He can still. That's all I got.
Okay, cool. All right, it's time for Getting in Your Business, and we have the first of our two guests, or the first two of our three guests, I guess you could say, for today. We have with us once again the owner and co-owners of Mojito Latin Soul Food, Michael and Michelle Mian. Welcome, you guys. Woohoo!
Thank you for having us.
So, when we had you on last, you were talking about what was going to happen and the direction you were going to go, and then we hit the snag that most new restaurants in this town get caught by, and that's our lovely health department and inspections and all that. And you've been a trooper all the way through that, I will say.
Thank you.
But now you have big news.
We have big news.
So I'm leaving the floor to you, sir, or to both of you, to go ahead and throw that news at us.
We have huge news.
Huge news.
We're finally getting to open. We have finally conquered the health department, and we are going to go ahead and rip right into it. And we're going to open up on Friday, October 9th.
This coming Friday.
We'll be open for lunch and dinner, normal schedule. We're just going to jump right into it. And we're excited to open, so we're not going to do any grand opening parties or anything like that. We just want to get into it, have people here enjoying our food and having a good time, and maybe a cigar on the patio.
So we'll be open this Friday for our grand opening, and it'll be from 11 to 3 for lunch. And then we reopen again from 5 to 10 for dinner. And the good news is that we get to be a part of the Streetery.
Yes.
So that will be good. We actually get to catch one of those, so that'll be exciting. So it gets us more tables and allows us to serve more people that want to come and are finally waiting to actually try us out or have had us on our food truck. And now they're excited to try the restaurant with more options. So it's exciting. We're ready.
Yeah, we're definitely ready.
It has been a journey for you guys.
It's been a journey. Now, we are opening with our beer and wine license only. We do have a little bit of a wait left for our liquor license, and that'll be hopefully in the next couple of weeks to get that knocked out. The health department really did absorb a lot of our time and energy, so we kind of weren't able to do everything at the same time. And so once they cleared us, we decided, let's just open. We have a fantastic beer and wine selection, and I think that'll actually be a little beneficial to us, so we don't have to worry about cocktail mixing and stuff like that while getting everything open and running.
While getting acclimated. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of, we'll take what we can get. And honestly, what we got was our clearance from the health department, which is, if anybody's familiar with Michelle Kirkman and how she operates, it's rough. It's not a good look for any business, no matter how long you've been in the business or what you think you know. She will make you feel like an idiot. So.
Well, the good news. Go ahead, Michelle. I'm sorry.
We have a killer list, wine list and beer list, especially our wine list. Actually, we've been working with a American Beverage Company, which is a small company, and they have handpicked some wines that you can only get from us. And there's a lot of Spanish wine, and we have some American wines, and so it's really interesting what they've picked for us. And when we've tried them, and they're fantastic. And then we have beers. We're gonna have from craft, local to domestic to imported. So it's exciting. And then when we get our liquor license, hopefully within the next month, we'll throw out our mojitos, of course.
So is that Jennifer?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, she's fantastic.
Jennifer and Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jennifer and Ben.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And she knows the restaurant business too. I mean, her husband owns Slappies, so yeah. So it's she knows how that goes too, and she's great with pairings. She's done all the Delicios wine dinners that we've been part of, and so she's definitely. I trust your wine list just knowing that she's in charge of that. So, is when you open on Friday, is that the full menu, or are you just basically putting a toe in and then walking your way up to your knees and then up to your hips? And
I think part of one of my big problems is I don't think anything through. I just go on and get on with it. So I figured what a great idea to just go ahead and rock out the whole menu with like, 2 cooks and myself to just, test our limits.
Dude,
We can do it.
dude. Now,
Nice.
I produce like, 8 podcasts, right? And I would say 8 of those were shoot first, ask questions later.
That's how you'll apologize later, but
Right.
we're gonna go big. We're gonna go all the way.
Oh, I
Oh,
don't
we do have-
apologize.
and
You have
we do have
what?
2 menus. We have a lunch and dinner menu that is run on Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, and then we have a brunch menu that's of course Latin infused, and that runs Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
So
What-
2 menus, not just 1 menu,
But 2.
but 2 full-on menus.
So what can we expect for a brunch?
So for brunch, I have a lot of cool things. We did a twist on chicken and waffles. We're gonna do fried pork and waffles with Nathan Pitts' smoky chili sauce and some syrup.
Okay.
So it'll be a little smoky, a little spicy, fried pork, which everybody loves, and house-made waffles. So we're gonna do twists like that, some American classics that we put our own spin on, and then we have our
No, huevos
Huevos
rancheros.
rancheros,
We're
it was a
keeping
big
that.
hit at
We've
Mary's.
added
That
a
was-
couple of
yeah.
items to it.
We're gonna
Yeah.
keep that kind of thing going on. Then we're gonna have like breakfast tamales, breakfast empanadas, stuff that you get at a Latin place that you see a little breakfast twist on, and we'll throw that in there. Telitos, which is like guava and cream cheese pastries. Yeah, we're gonna have a.
Now I know this is more of a Mexican food, but will you have chilaquiles at all?
No, I mean we might run stuff like that for specials, but on our base menu, we're gonna keep things that we knew were successful.
Okay.
Tried them at Mary, so they have a little bit of a Southwest theme.
Yeah.
And then we have breakfast plates that you see like in Miami with Argentinian sausage on it, and stuff.
Oh yeah. Are you more excited, nervous, or just let's get the hell on with it right now?
I'm more excited. I'm really excited. I don't ever want this feeling to go away. So this might be a problem for me. I get addicted.
As you get the side eye from your wife there. She looked over there like,
Yeah.
He definitely has to give me a
But
second.
no, it's exciting, man. These are exciting times, and there's a lot riding on this. Like this is one of the biggest gambles I've ever made in my career. So
But we're excited. I mean, we think that Winston is. I mean, look at the food and how it's grown over the years. I mean, Winston is ready for more, and there's no Latin, there's no authentic Latin restaurant. There's Mexican restaurants, but there's no like full blown out Cuban infused Latin restaurant from authenticity from when he was young, learning from his grandmother to going to Johnson and Wales and getting his bachelor's degree. I mean, you don't get any more Miami than this one over here.
yeah.
Yeah.
So where are you from, Michelle?
I'm born and raised in Miami as well.
Okay. I had a question and it totally escaped me.
Yeah, I was born in Miami too, North Miami Beach.
nice. Where
Nice.
in Miami?
North Miami Beach.
A&MB.
Nice.
I like
I was
it.
born in Kendall.
Now, I left Miami when I was 3, so
Oh.
it's been over 50 years since I lived there. I go back to visit family every once in a while, and it's from the Miami that I experienced when I was born there to the Miami that it is today. They're not even the same country.
Yeah,
I have
You
been
definitely
I have been to Miami.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a different world, man.
It's different from when we were growing up.
Every day I wake up here, I'm glad I'm here.
Yeah.
Every day. I've never like once said like I wish I could go back to my nope.
We'll go visit family and be like, okay,
Time to
after a
go.
couple days, time to go back home.
yeah. We don't have nearly the issues in Winston-Salem that they have in Miami.
Oh.
Nor do we have nearly the heat.
Or the heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then
Or
you
the
brought some of
traffic.
the best part of Miami here, the food, the culture.
That's all we need. We just need some food and some coffee. Cuban coffee is like as
Yes.
soon as you guys start drinking this stuff, forget
Yeah.
about it. I'll have to like shut the door and kick everybody out.
Oh.
More
So,
coffee.
so that is Cuban coffee is on the menu.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Oh,
That's offered.
the cafecito with the little cup and the extra shot glasses to share with your friends. We're doing
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
And that's offered every day
Mhm.
we're open.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's a staple.
And
That's
we're
what you do. You have dinner and you have a cafecito.
yeah.
Is there a disclaimer under those that this
No
is
disclaimer.
very
We're trying to get
caffeinated?
as many people hooked on this coffee as we can, and so what's going to happen is the development in the city is going to hit like fivefold in the next few weeks. It's just things are going to happen, man. They're going to be drinking this coffee and be like, forget it, I got to go do something.
Everyone's going to start talking faster. when they have
Small
Exactly
disclaimer.
right,
There's
yeah.
a small disclaimer though. If you have any heart issues, you only get 1 cup.
It's
Yeah.
not tongues that they're going to speak in; it's Spanish. They just don't know it.
Yeah.
I
Well,
had the opportunity about 20 years ago to go to Miami. I was doing some training for a group that was down there, and one of the guys that went with us, we get into the office, they're like, "Hey, man, you want some Cuban coffee?"
It's a wrap.
Yes, absolutely. 1 cup. That's all I had. And he's like, "Oh, this is good. Can I have another one? And another one? And another one? And another one? I don't know. Why can't I start? I don't know. I'm feeling like, let's go talk to people. Come on, let's go. It's like, dude, seriously, 1 cup. And they're all laughing. They're like, yeah, we love jacking up the folks who just show up, have no idea what Cuban coffee will do to them.
yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Definitely fun.
See them in a couple of days, they're back for another phase. Like, come on, man, I need some coffee.
So I'm glad you said that because now I know I should not have any because, I do have heart problems. So I cannot have that.
One little shot
One-
doesn't hurt you.
One, you're good. Don't
Yeah.
do 5.
Yeah, when you start doing like I drink 8 ounces every morning to wake up, so that's probably.
We're kind of used to it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'll taste it.
There
you need to
a
have
small
a taste.
sip. Yeah, I mean, you gotta at least try it.
You gotta
Yeah.
try
Yeah.
Yeah.
As Leah air quoting, taste it.
it. First one's free.
Yeah. That's how you get them. So, you guys just celebrated an anniversary, right?
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
We've been together for 24 years.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you. We were just little kids, man.
Yeah, we were.
Oh, I know. I
was
looked at
gonna
the
say,
picture. I
you
didn't
were like
recognize.
10 years old when you got married.
Yeah.
We were 16 and 17 when we met. We were in high school.
I was looking at a
Wow.
picture. I guess it was a prom picture, and I'm like, I don't even know
That's
who either
exactly
one
It
of
was
those
his
people are.
prom.
Yeah, I don't know who either one of those people are.
It's because he had hair.
Yeah,
I was going to say that, but there was a
I
lot
had a
more hair.
beautiful swath of hair, man. I miss it.
You just
every day.
moved it.
Yeah, mostly come
Take it
back.
from here, put it down here.
yeah. I've got that problem too. I've got it. I got it in the front of my head and down my back. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think we needed to know some of that.
It's, like I stay warm in the winter with a t-shirt.
right on, right on. Well,
Well, what?
Well, it's really exciting to hear y'all getting ready to open the doors. This is big.
go ahead, Leah.
It's been a struggle, but we, everything that's worth having is worth working for.
Yeah.
Yes, slow and steady always goes the pace, right?
Yeah.
Whether you want it or not.
Right.
That's right. Couple tongue biting moments, and you can make it.
Yep. What? So I'm all about the pork. I'm all about some bacon.
Yeah.
Whatever piece of the pork I can get. But now my wife is not. So what other things will you have on the menu that I can convince her that she needs to come with me? I mean, I'll come by myself. I don't care.
So we
But to get
we actually have something here for everybody. So you start with a vegan item. We have a vegan tamales that we start off with, and then we load them up with stuff. So you don't have to have pork or chicken on them, but you can get pork or chicken. So pretty much everything starts from vegan, vegetarian levels and then works its way up. So we don't really want anybody to come here and feel like there's not something for them, and that's what we work really hard on doing. But we have pork belly, we have chicharrones, we have traditional and American pork rinds. So we have our puffed pork rinds, and then we have our pork belly that we fry up and serve with mojito sauce. We have
you had me at pork belly, just so you know.
Well, we also have a lot of gluten-free items. We know that gluten is a problem for a lot of people, and so we try to make. If he tries to make, I say we like I do this, but he tries to make dishes that anyone can come and get something, And there's a handful of items of all of it, and there's a lot of vegan and vegetarian items, and you can make them. We offer like our proteins for our bowls. Our mojito bowls. We have You can do, we have Impossible meat. So if somebody wants to do that, that's great. Or you can just do plantains, which are gluten free on top of it, which the whole bowl is gluten free.
Yeah.
So there's options. We try to make it as options as possible.
We also have our mojito roasted or grilled chicken, which is it's very similar to the way Viva Chicken does their dish. Ours has a little more flame to it, or has flame to it. They don't put theirs on a grill, and ours is done in traditional Cuban mojo, which is a marinade. So we have that, and then we also have our Cuban style fried chicken, which is roasted in marinated in mojo, cooked off, and then marinated again in buttermilk before it's fried. And our frying seasoning is like a sofrito type, it's actually a Puerto Rican dish, but I claim it as Cuban because all my Puerto Rican friends, theirs isn't as good as mine. So.
Nice.
So we have a ton of stuff that kind of goes across the board: chicken, pork, fish. We have ceviche. We have fish tacos. Our tortillas are made in house. So yeah, we're pulling out all the stops here. We're really excited, and we think we have something for everybody, and everybody's dietary needs are there.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited and hungry already.
Most of our food is not spicy.
Yeah.
Like the majority of our food is not spicy. Like Latin food is a lot about flavor, especially Cuban food is big on flavor, but not on spice. But we do make our own house mojito hot sauce for anyone that wants to add a little flair to it. And then some things have a little spice to them, but everything is written out and easy.
It's accessible.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like I told you guys last time, we did the menu. The first thing you read is in English, and then the description will go into some Spanish. But we kept everything in English so that it's more approachable and people can understand the food a little better. Because one of the issues we had on the food truck in the very beginning was people didn't understand certain things, certain names. So we changed a lot of that to be more accessible to anybody who comes in, because we want people to feel comfortable. We want this to be like, a once a week venue for Winston-Salem folks.
And it's very affordable, and we are working on our website. So we'll have a website, mojitolatinsoulfood.com. It'll have our menu on there, and eventually we'll be doing online ordering, and you can call in now for pickup, but we're going to give it a little bit and just sort of feel the flow and get acclimated, and then we'll start activating our online ordering. We won't use any third parties. We don't do third parties at all, but you can order online and pick up eventually.
Cool. Well, sorry about that. I am so looking forward to this, and I will be probably one of those once a weekers that you talked about, and you'll get tired of seeing this big beard eventually.
Oh, no,
I'll never get tired of seeing that big, beautiful beard, sir. Thank you.
Well, to both of you, we are again so very happy, and we are excited, and yes, we will be there often. I'm sure all of us will be. Ray will come all the way down from Mount Airy for this.
Nice. Come on down the mountain.
Awesome.
So, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate the support. We really do. You guys have been great to us, and we're so excited. Thank you guys so much for all your support.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome.
Thank you.
God bless your new venture.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you to Michael and Michelle Mion from Mojito for stopping by, and congratulations to them. And we are very much looking forward to them and trying their wares. But now we have with us Dina Abushahab. Is that close?
Yes, that is very close.
Abushahab, yeah. From Baklava and More. Now, I had the opportunity last week to try it was baklava cake and the mini baklava cheesecakes. And they were fantastic. Both of them were very, very good. So, Dina, I'm going to let you just tell us about because one of the questions I was going to ask, and I believe you answered that, was if you were Levantine, the whole Levantine cuisine, the Middle Eastern, the Egyptian all the way up to Israel and Palestine and all those things. So I'm going to let you talk about baklava more and your history and why you make such great baklava.
Thank you so much, Tim. Okay, so my name is Dina for everyone. I started baklava and more because I love cooking. I love trying new things, new recipes. I learned that from my mom, and I was with her in the kitchen, and she was the one that actually taught me how to do baklava. And the idea of the baklava cake that I sent you the other day, usually the baklava, you have them in small pieces, right? And they sell it to you in small containers. But I was thinking that it could be a much cooler idea if for a birthday, instead of taking a regular cake, you could take a baklava cake, which is essentially just baklava, but in the form of a cake. That's how the idea of the baklava cake started. And that was the first product that I came up with, right? The baklava, it's originally from in the Middle East, right? I'm Palestinian, and all the countries in the Middle East, they have their own forms of doing it, but at the end, it's all the same, just with little tricks here and there that make it a little different. I started with baklava, and then I started making baklava cheesecake. So I love cheesecake, and I know that a lot of people love cheesecake.
Oh, yeah.
And adding cheesecake and baklava, that it's also very well known together, it's like, wow. So I went on the kitchen, I found a recipe, and I tested it out. And the first time it didn't come out as I wanted it to be, and I'm like, it's okay. I mean, these things happen. But then I made other twists, and the second time that I did it, I was like, and when I had it, I was like, wow, this is so good. I love cheesecake. So having those two together, baklava and cheesecake, and you had them, so
oh, yeah.
you know that it was a very good thing. And I made them in cupcakes, so you don't have to have the whole thing like a big piece. You can just have a tiny piece if you don't want to eat so much.
And you can eat it to go.
That's how it all started. Yes, and eat it to go. So it's perfect to eat it to go.
Well, as good as both of them were on their own, because I did try them by themselves, you also sent along these little ramekins of this, I called it delicious nectar. It was a simple syrup, I think, made with orange blossom water, right? And
yes, exactly.
And it was like it was sweet without being sweet. It's not as sweet as honey, and it's not as sweet as just plain sugar, but you actually had this floral. You had the floral aroma. You had the floral flavors to it. Now that's the orange blossoms, I'm pretty sure, and it was still fruity, but not fruity, and all of that together. I could just drink cups of that, although I'd probably go into a coma. And I know Ray's wife would. So I could do that, but when we just took the little pieces of the baklava cake and we would dip it in that, and it would just like, it wasn't like so thick and it was just like hanging there, but it also wasn't just water either. So it just coated the end of this thing, and the flavors were so amazing. And I took a bite of the cheesecake first to make a spot so I could dip it down in the thing. So I was doing it to both the cheesecake and the baklava cake. And Dina, you have some winning stuff right there. Both in the cake, the cheesecake, and in the syrup that goes along with it. That is. So Ray and Leah, I'm telling you right now, you've got to have them. I can't even put it into words. You've got to try this stuff. It is fantastic.
Well, I just love that you have strategy in your way that you dip your stuff into this golden juice.
Yes.
And then, having grown up with a family friend whose mom did baklava for us all the time. Like, I just love that stuff. So I can't wait to try it and to compare notes and, just dig in.
Yes.
Ray, you're a fan of baklava, right?
Love baklava, and I love the idea of it being paired with cheesecake. Like, where do I go? Where do I find this amazingness?
Right now, I'm starting online, right? I have an Instagram account, which is Baklava and More. And then I also have a Facebook account. I'm planning on building a website so people can order through the website. But in the meantime, I'm doing it all through messages on Instagram and Facebook.
So I'm looking at this. You posted it this weekend. The Knefa, is that how you say it?
Yes, knafa is another amazing Middle Eastern dessert that is less famous than baklava, but it's as delicious as the baklava.
Well, it looks fantastic, and I love the little bird feeder looking things that go into it. That I guess it just disperses it into the cheesecake. I guess, is it cheesecake in there?
No, it's just a cupcake of phyllo dough, and in the inside it has sweet cheese and mozzarella cheese.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And syrup
good.
on the outside.
Yes. That is.
I plan on doing it as a cheesecake in the future with the knafe. That's called the knafe.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to make sure I say these things correctly. I don't want to misrepresent or say something wrong. So how long have you been doing Baklava and More?
Baklava and More, I started in July as an official business. I have been making it for friends and family, but as an official business, I started at the end of July.
And
I've been getting few orders here and there, so it's good. I'm growing little by little.
So with their website, not website, but with your Instagram and your Facebook, that's the way right now for people to contact you. Do they call you? Do they just message you? How do you prefer?
They can message me. What I'm doing is I'm just keeping in constant communication with them through messages, and we meet somewhere that's convenient for them, and I give them the order.
Okay. Yeah, see, I wasn't even here when I got mine. That's how good she is.
Yes.
She contacted me, says, I'm going to be in Winston. Can I bring this to you? And I'm like, yes. And then I wasn't home. So my wife, luckily, was working from home that day. And she was able to get it. So, and I got home. We put it in the refrigerator. We got home. And I'm like, oh, yeah, it's time. So
it's nice that she saved it for you, because if it were me, I might have been like, what baklavas? I'm wiping stuff off my face.
I don't know nothing about no baklava.
I don't know.
Well, she even sent me a picture. She goes, here's what we got. I'm like, oh yeah. So
yeah,
I would have sent the picture with like teeth marks and a bite taken out of everything.
And everything already wiped out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Been like,
the box with the empty crumbs.
and the little cups would have been empty if I was doing it, because I just would have drunk the stuff straight.
we're excited just a little.
Yeah. So what's your future plans? Are you going to try to do a store? Or are you going to continue doing orders only, or how are you going to do?
That's the ideal plan, that we can open a bakery and have people come to us and visit us and be able to see how we do everything from there. Like, I have so many desserts I want to make, so many. But right now I'm starting little, but once I am able to grow and then make a bakery, I want to be able to do everything.
Are you looking to do that in Greensboro?
Yes, it's going to be a location that's convenient for everyone around. We'll see. It has to be a nice spot that's convenient, so we'll see.
All right. Maybe somewhere around Kernersville or something, because it's right in the middle.
Yeah, I am actually located in Kernersville, so it might end up being here in Kernersville, which is the middle of both places.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Kernersville is lucky that they get to enjoy equally Winston and Greensboro stuff, because they can get to either one almost equally as fast. So
Yes.
that's good for them. Well, how long have you been in the United States?
I have been here for 4 months now.
Okay.
So my wedding was supposed to be in June, but with all this COVID stuff, it got postponed to another time. But I ended up moving here with my fiance, who is from here. So because I could not be traveling back and forth with all these things.
And while you're here, why not give us some delicious food, right?
Yes.
Well, we are so glad you're here. We're glad that you are with us in this area. We're glad that you're here with us today. We're glad that you're doing the things that you're doing, because, again, of the three of us, I can vouch that this stuff was damn good. So
Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
He doesn't say that unless he means it.
Right, yeah. Yeah, no, I might just say, it was all right, or it was good, but no, this was damn good.
Thank you.
So I have a request that whenever you get more going, and when you have more things like the kunefa and the baklava cheesecakes and all this other goody stuff that you want to unleash upon us here in this area, that just keep me informed so I can try to promote you and get more word out, because I've had it, I believe in it, and I believe in what you're doing, and I want to use whatever mouth that I have that I can get people to listen to me, to know that your stuff is good. Right, it is a mighty big mouth on a mighty big man. So I want to help you all that I can. So
thank you. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. So good luck to you. And I do implore my listeners and my readers and my co-hosts to hit you up, order some stuff, get some stuff, and send us pictures of what you get, so we can say, hey, this was our guest and this is what people are eating, so we can get other people to eat it. So my request is that you keep me informed.
I definitely will.
All right. Well, you have a great day, and thank you again. Thank you for the opportunity to taste your stuff.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, thank you again to Michael and Michelle Millan, and to Dina Abu Shahab. If I say it enough times, I'll get it right. At least one of those. Stop clocks right twice a day. So, but thank them all three for being guests of ours today and talking about their businesses and their stories. I appreciate it so very, very much. So let's do some food holidays in history. Again, I'm trying to keep them truncated, although there's a couple of things. Today is the 5th of October, and it's National Apple Betty Day. I don't know what an Apple Betty is. Yeah, I don't know.
You said 5th, and my mind went somewhere else. So I was like, oh, wait. He's talking about something. Apple. And Betty and Veronica, or what?
Yeah, I don't know. Apple Brown Betty. It's an album. Betty White. I don't know what. I bet Street Team Steven will go, here's what it is, dumbass. he will do that every once in a while to me, and I'm okay with that.
We love him for that.
So Apple Crisp, Apple Brown Betty topping is made with flour or breadcrumbs, butter, sugar, and spices. Apple Crisp is a baked deep dish apple dessert with a crumb or streusel topping.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that sounds really good.
There we go. In 1947, on the 5th, President Harry Truman became the first U.S. president to address the nation on television. He called on farmers and distillers to cut grain consumption to help Europeans who were still recovering from World War II and suffering from famine. He also asked the public not to eat meat on Tuesdays and forgo eggs and poultry on Thursdays. I don't know how that worked out for him. I will eat what I want when I want. So,
Amen.
So we'll go with that.
That was the first time the president dressed us on TV, and now we wish they wouldn't.
That's right. Just stay off the TV, dude.
And case in point, just look at last Tuesday. Yep, don't want to watch that again.
No.
Ever.
The 6th of October is National Noodle Day. If Josh Trussler can get his stuff up,
Oodle your
that'd be
noodle.
good to have.
So what do you-
Oodle your noodle?
What do you think about that?
What? The Noodle Day?
Yeah. Are you going to noodle that one?
I'm going to noodle. Use my noodle to think about it. So, it's also National Orange Wine Day.
Orange?
I was waiting for the response for both of you. So, orange wine, which can also be known as amber, romato, or skin contact wine, is first and foremost not made from the orange fruit. It's actually white wine grapes that are essentially treated the same way as red wine grapes. They are fermented with the grape skin intact, thus giving it varying hues of yellows, oranges, ambers, or even brown. So orange wine can be made all over the world and in varying techniques. The most traditional method is the usage of kaveri or amphora. This is an earthen clay vessel, usually lined with beeswax, that is then buried underground during the fermentation process. By placing these vessels underground, this aids in temperature-controlled fermentation. These practices have evidence dating back 6,000 to 8,000 years, and is what now considered modern-day country of Georgia. So the former Soviet Republic is now Georgia. So that's what orange wine is.
Glad you clarified.
Yeah, because it.
I guess.
Yeah. Well, because the only difference really between red wine, white wine is it can be the same grape as if they leave the skins on, right? Mm-hmm. So red wine, white wine can be made from red grapes, but red wine has to be made from red grapes. So there we go.
Right. Well, the insides you don't get that color out of just the interior of the grapes.
Right.
It really doesn't matter the outside skin.
Right. On the 6th, in 1790, Jacob Schwepp demonstrated his process for making artificial mineral water, and then went on to have Schweppes beverages.
Yeah.
In
Make a good ginger ale.
In 1893, cream of wheat, a porridge product using farina, was developed by wheat millers of Diamond Milling Company in Grand Forks, North Dakota, named cream of wheat because it was so white. In 1945, William Billy Goat Cianis, the owner of the Billy Goat Tavern in Chicago, took his pet goat Murphy to Game 4 of the Baseball World Series, which was Chicago versus Detroit Tigers. Denied entry to Wrigley Field because the goat stinks. Billy Goat Cianis supposedly places a curse on the Cubs that they will never win another World Series. It would be 71 years before the Cubs won a World Series in 2016. Now, he also, if you are familiar with the old Saturday Night Live cheeseburger skits, that was an homage to the Billy Goat Tavern, which when I was in Chicago a couple years back when Stephanie worked for Second Harvest and they were doing Feeding America conference there, I went to Billy Goat Tavern and they do still cheeseburger. And it was really cool to be there. On these, what?
How'd you like to have that nickname, Billy Goat?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, he I'm sure when he died, he didn't die poor because his place was known. So I'd be all right with it if I was known. In 2008, on the 6th, Mars Inc., makers of M&M's, completed its acquisition of the chewing gum company William Wrigley Jr. for $23 billion. And so that fits in same with the Wrigley Field, because that's who it was named after. And on the 6th, it would have been my grandfather's, I want to say, 96th birthday. And it is my nephew, Calvin Ryan Aiden Johnson's 19th birthday.
Right.
Happy birthday.
He is in the culinary program at Providence Culinary Training with my son, Trey.
Cool.
And is talking about doing the extended residency, which is continuing with the school, but actually getting paid and learning all the catering and all those other things. So that's good. On the 7th, it's National Kale Day.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Mel will be happy for that. I'll make sure I let her know.
Okay, it pales in comparison to spinach, I think. I'll give it to me.
There you go.
It's National Pumpkin Seed Day. Okay.
Roast them. They're good roasted.
Yeah. National Frappe Day. And here you go, Ray. Chocolate covered pretzel day.
Yes.
Salty and sweet all together.
They are really good that way.
Yeah. And I know you don't like it as much, but I like the white chocolate covered ones too.
Actually, in that case, they work.
Yeah, because the salt.
Again,
and
it's sweet and the salt. Yeah, it's a really nice.
Well, and there's those at Trader Joe's that have the candy cane crunched up in them.
Ooh.
Those are good. I shouldn't have said anything because they fly off the shelves. You can only get them one time a year. Like that day they put them out, woof, then they're gone.
No more for you. The 8th of October is National Flutternutter Day. And
What did you just say?
I didn't vote for you. It was National Fluffernutter Day. Now, they say it's a New England classic, yet I'm not from New England, and I had them growing up as well. It's peanut butter and marshmallow cream, basically, marshmallow fluff on white bread.
Okay.
I love the flavor, but I hate making them because that stuff does not spread well at all. You tear the shit out of the bread just trying to get it on there. And then it's all over your hands. First. No, yuck.
Yeah.
And then you have it all over your hands and then, in your beard. And it's just, I like the flavor combination, but making them sucks. So. Fluffernutters.
Okay. Glad we have clarification on that.
You thought it was...
I was thinking, I don't want anybody fluffering my nutters.
Not fluff my nutters. It was fluff and nutters. On the 8th, it's also... It's also...
Ain't gonna touch that one.
No.
Either of them.
Not the left or the right. Not touching
no.
The 8th is also National Salmon Day. I'm good with it.
Oh.
Salmon chanted evening.
And National Pierogi Day.
Oh.
I like pierogies.
Yum.
Yeah.
I do too.
Polish dumplings. On the 8th, in 1871, the Great Chicago Fire broke out and destroyed nearly 17,000 buildings and left almost 100,000 people homeless. It was usually blamed on Mrs. Kate O'Leary's cow kicking over a lamp. However, in 1997, the Chicago City Council looked into the evidence, both old and new, and passed a resolution exonerating her and her cow, although many people still believe the cow was guilty.
Turn that cow into steaks.
That'll teach her.
That'll teach her. In 1901, the American Sugar Refining Company registered the Domino trademark for sugar. In 1919, Congress passed the Volstead Act, which enforced the ban on the sale and consumption of alcoholic beverages, thus beginning prohibition. Boo.
Big mistake. They
Yes.
got over it.
Yeah, what they call that? The noble experiment. It was not very noble.
I was going to say, there's a lot of people that might disagree with the nobility of it. But
Yeah, yes. On the 8th in 2004, lifestyle guru Martha Stewart reported to prison to begin serving a sentence for lying about a well-timed stock sale. On the 9th of October, it's World Egg Day. It's
Nice.
Moldy Cheese Day, which I love, blue cheese. It's Submarine Grinder Hoagie Hero Day. Take your choice, your pick. May I suggest for a submarine, BLL Rotisserie Factory? I know I talk about them and push them a lot, but their submarine, which is basically an Italian sub, with extra cheese, and instead of lettuce have spinach on it and a little bit of onion, tomato, and oregano. It's very, very good. It's one of my favorite sandwiches in town.
And that sounds really good.
Yeah, it is very good. It's also Beer and Pizza Day on the 9th.
Two great tastes that belong together.
That's
I
right.
mean, they're made for each other.
Yes,
Oh,
they are.
absolutely.
Yes,
Hot pizza, cold beer.
yes. And we have plenty of places in this town to have that combination. There are too many to name to endorse any. So anywhere you want to go for that, just try to pick local for it.
Yes.
On the 9th in 1962, Union Carbide registered the Glad trademark for plastic bags.
They were happy about it.
Yeah, they were. They were quite glad. In 1985, Strawberry Fields, a 2.5-acre garden memorial in New York City Central Park, was dedicated to John Lennon.
Forever.
It was forever. In 1996, the largest grilled cheese sandwich was made. It was 3,000 pounds.
What?
Yeah.
I should
How
rely
did
on
they-
a grilled cheese.
How did they grill that?
I don't know. I that's the thing with I talk about these just for the factor, but I really don't know the practicality of how they did it. I mean, beyond that, probably was not eaten, but still, how did they make it? How they grill it? How they weigh it?
How do you flip it?
How they flip it? Exactly.
I mean, so many questions.
Yeah. We need to get somebody, because I guess that comes from Guinness or something. We need to get somebody to answer that. On the 9th in 2007, SAB Miller, that's South Africa Brewing and Miller, and then Molson Coors announced an agreement to combine their U.S. operations to create Miller Coors. U.S. antitrust regulators approved the joint venture on June 5th, 2008, and Miller Coors began operation as a combined entity on July 1st, 2008. In 2012, the last filling of the iconic 6.5-ounce returnable glass Coca-Cola bottles was capped in Winona, Minnesota. What the hell's going on here? Oh, I see. I had something in my notes that was wrong, and it was throwing me off. On the 10th of October, it's World Porridge Day. I guess you can have cream of wheat because it did say in its description that it was a porridge. It's National Angel Food Cake Day.
Oh,
National Cake Decorating Day. And the only thing I have for that, on the 10th in 1796, the traditional date for the creation of the metric system, 1010. The 11th of October is National Sausage Pizza Day. Yes. I'll probably have it twice that week because I'll have it for Pizza and Beer Day, too. On the 11th in 1983, the last hand-cranked telephones in the United States were taken out of service. 1983.
That's crazy.
This
I thought
happened.
it would have been 20, 30 years before that.
Yeah, this is as the 440 telephone customers in Bryant Pond, Maine, were switched over to direct dial service.
Tiny little rural spot out in the middle of nowhere.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I think of like Green Acres and someone having to climb up on the pole just to answer or make a phone call. Or like on Andy Griffith when you're cranking it and say, whatever the operator's name is, they always mention her by her name. But 1983, I mean, touchstone phones had come along by then. It wasn't just rotary dial anymore. Also on the 11th in 1987, a major sonar exploration of Loch Ness in Scotland ended. It failed to find Nessie, the world-famous Loch Ness monster.
She hides really well.
She does. Also on the 11th, Leah Michelle Beeman Roney Elsie Johnson Skidmore turns 43. That is my sister and her full name.
Say that again.
Okay, Leah Michelle Beeman Roney Elsie Johnson Skidmore.
Wow, that's a lot of names for one person.
Yeah, she's been
Yeah,
married. This is her fourth marriage.
Okay.
But they have celebrated 10 years, so this one stuck.
Good.
I think I mentioned back on July 31st, August 1st, whichever one, that I performed the renewal, the vow renewal in the mountains in Boone. I say mountains, in the foothills of Boone. And I also think I mentioned that in 2010, when she got married, I was not at her wedding because I was in another friend's wedding. And I told her, due to the circumstances, don't worry, I'll be at your next one. And I was, because I actually performed that one. So, yay. Well, that is your food, holidays, and history for this week. Special thanks to James Ealer at foodreference.com for making us chuckle, roll our eyes, get fluffernutters in our beards and on our fingers, and knowing that we're going to have pizza at least twice and beer and chocolate-covered pretzels. The Man Who Ate the Town podcast is part of the Less Desirables podcast network. Along with this podcast, you can listen to Less Desirables, Beer Dads, Fan Interference, Apartment 5B, Biggs, Wax Vinyl, and more, Sipping NC, Wheeler's Dog, and Asylum. Tales from the Devereaux Diaries podcast. You can find all these podcasts and their latest episodes on our network website and directory, tltpodnetwork.com. You'll also find social media links to each one there as well. We'd greatly appreciate if you visit our sponsors. Washington Perk and Provision Company is located at 301 West 4th Street. You'll find a little bit of everything at the Perk, a chip corner, deli to make your sandwich on the go. Local fruits, veggies, meat, and dairy from all those local sources. Bingo Bango sodas, Wolfie's custard, a wall of beer and wine, and more. Washington Perk is better than a convenience store, not quite a grocery store. On Facebook, they are Washington Perk, or at Washington Perk _DTWS on Instagram. The Humblebee shop is located at 1003 Brookstown Avenue in the west end of downtown. You've not had good until you've tasted the treats and goodies that Brittany is whipping up in her shop, be it muffins, cakes, macarons, and more. Many things are vegan and gluten-free as well if you are in need or want of those. The Humblebee, are you calling her and complaining that she's making vegan and gluten-free stuff? I don't think so. Shut the hell up.
You're going down there and trying it and going, man, I want to do this again.
Yes, that's right. If you're not doing that, shut the hell up anyway. The Humblebee Shop wants to challenge your perception of Scratch Made and leave you with an experience you couldn't possibly forget. For more information, follow them on Facebook and Instagram or visit thehumblebeeshop.co.
That's SHOPPE.co.
And Carrabba's Italian Grill, located 587 South Stratford Road. This is no chain. This is a responsible family of restaurants. Carrabba's and their owner partners take the communities they serve very seriously. Again, it's in their charter. And for us, having a fantastic franchisee like Daniel certainly does not suck. Follow Carrabba's on social media and at carrabbas.com. Daniel says that they have a wine dinner coming in the middle of this month. That is, he says, pretty damn good, I think was the words he said. Also, I need to send you guys a picture, but we put the new table in the studio this week.
Yes.
Yeah, that was, it looks really, really good. Yeah, it looks really, really good. And Daniel's just, he came, he helped me, he brought it, put it up, and we drilled holes and put mics, booms, and all that stuff in there. It's just fantastic. I will send you guys a picture here in a second. This is a reminder to all the listeners, and it's just good practice, not just now, but for always. Wash your damn hands. Shut the hell up and wash your damn hands. Wash with warm water and soap. Wash with that soap for 20 seconds or more. If you need help, if you need a little guidance, just sing this. So that's on the Zenyatta Mondata album that was released 40 years ago this past Saturday.
Is it 40 years?
Yeah, 1980. Yes.
I'm like, that was part of my childhood. It didn't feel like it was 40 years ago.
Well, 39. It was Ghost in the Machine was 39 on Friday.
It was what, 83 was when Synchronicity.
Yeah, but that was in June. But they had a roll here because October the 2nd, 1979 was when Regatta de Blanc was released, and on November the 2nd in 78 was Outlander Stu Moore. So from Regatta de Blanc to Zenyatta Mondata to Ghost in the Machine, all those were released 1 year apart each. And then Synchronicity, and then that was all. But yeah, so if you need help, just sing da do 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 da 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 da, which I did for the Vagabond Saints Society when we did the police show. I did that and Don't Stand So Close to Me, which are both from the same album. And I also got to do Synchronicity 2, which is one of my favorite police songs.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff.
Well,
Always enjoyed them.
Yes. As a kid, I couldn't stand the Police. Couldn't. However, I grew up, and now they're one of my top 5 bands of all time. So, I really dig them.
Yeah.
It took me that long to figure out that, if you dig beyond the hits, which I do love, that you found a lot of stuff you didn't know was fantastic about them. They were 3 accomplished musicians who just wrote good songs. Whether, I know some people don't like the ska aspect or the reggae type stuff. Go beyond that. There's much more to it than that.
Yeah. Well, then Sting going off on his own career and doing this great fusion of rock and jazz and funk and all this different influence. Yeah, I've always respected them individually and collectively for their artistic vision. Right,
and Stuart Copeland is probably one of the top 10 drummers of all time, and I don't know if he even wants to be called a drummer as much as a percussionist, But
Yeah.
you know, a lot of people don't know that he wrote soundtracks and video game scores and all kinds of stuff. So he did a lot of stuff. He still does a lot of stuff. They're all alive. So it's not like I'm talking about them in the past tense. But yeah, so there's your earworm for today and your music trivia for today. Keep an eye on the blog and this podcast to find out more about the food news and happenings around town. If you have any food news, send an email to Tim or Leah or Ray at The Man Who Ate the Town. You can also contact us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Instant Messengers. Like us on Facebook. On Twitter, we are Man Who Ate the Town. And on Instagram, we are Man Who Ate the Town. And now we invite you to call and leave a voicemail for the podcast or any podcast on the TLD network. We get a lot, like I said last week, for the Asylum Tales from the Devereaux Diaries podcast. But we would love to hear from our local folk as well about food. You can call 336-422-6862. That's right, 336-422-NUM. Leave us a voicemail and we'll play it on the podcast. Again, 336-422-NUM6862. Well, thank you again, once again, to Michael and Michelle Mion and to Dina Abu Shahab.
There you go.
There we go. From Baklavan Moore. And my name's Tim.
Mine's Ray.
And I'm Leah.
And we're closing the recipe box. It's a wonder I can pronounce my last name. Until next time, thank you for reading. Thank you for listening. Bon appetit.
Yamas.
Yamas.
The views and opinions stated by me or any of my guests are solely those of ours and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of our hosting companies, distributors, enemies, friends, or relatives. This podcast is copyrighted and cannot be reproduced or distributed without express written consent of the Man Who Ate the Town, that's me, and Such Limited Inc. However, if you ask nicely, we'll probably let you.